Mrs. Robin, how did you come to work for Marilyn Monroe?
I was asked to do it by Mickey Rudin, the attorney, who knew of my work for David Selznick and Myron Selznick. I knew that I could, if I could live with them, I could live with Marilyn, or I could help her get along at the studio.
How long were you with her?
8 months.
8 months.
Till she died.
Until she died. The last 8 months of her life,
then.
then?
8 months. But I wouldn't have taken the job, except my husband thought she was so cute when she was sexy. He wanted me to take the job.
Oh. Could I ask you to sum up your impressions of her? If I asked you who was or what was Marilyn Monroe to you, your impressions of that star, that lady, that woman?
I thought she was a friendless, wandering person. The only people that surrounded her were people that she paid, as she paid my salary. The only person who would come to see her would be Joe DiMaggio, and he would come with love, or his son. In New York, there were Carl Sandburg was a friend of hers, but otherwise she was a very lonesome person.
Did she will that on herself, or was this a set of circumstances that grew through the years? Or?
I think it was the result of the way she'd been mishandled by people for most of her life.
How had she been mishandled? Can you give us an example of what you mean by being mishandled?
I think she was used. People used her to further their own desires, whether it was in a personal way or in work. I don't think they would say, this is a great actress. They'd say, oh, she's good box office. And she was a great actress. Every movement was clinical. And I think she resented the people who abused her. Maybe that's too strong a word to use, but they wanted her to grind out a picture. They didn't care if she wanted to do it, if she felt comfortable in the role, if it was going to do anything for her, if it was going to make several $1 million for 20th, that's all they cared about. Marilyn never had a whitening coat. She never wore dangling earrings, and she would wear one dress for 6 months wherever she went. I don't mean that it was a dress she liked. It was a Norrell, and she didn't have a wardrobe that she changed into. She had a lot of jeans and blouses and pants, but she had one dress that she wore when she went out, except when she went to the Golden Globe Awards, and then she was sewn into a dress, as everybody could see who saw it.
Yeah. In chatting with you, was there, obviously these are her last months, so, but still, was there a sense of humor that would come out in her dealings with you?
Not really. She was very...
Too far beyond that?
Well, I'm not saying she was far beyond it. I didn't know her when she had it.
I see.
But she was a quiet person. Very quiet. We'd eat, in New York, we'd eat dinner. It was always the same. There was never bread in the house. And she'd be quiet. She liked the way I would arrange flowers for the table.
I didn't get at something you were saying there. There was never what in the house?
Bread.
So what did you...
Well, we had New York steaks, thin, well done, Andes, period.
Did she read a lot?
She read. And she worked hard. She really did.
Did she go out much, or did she tend to stay where in...
She stayed home most of the time. In fact, when I would tell Leo, well, we were home again last night, and he'd say, well, I read different things. She went to see Carl Sandburg once. She went to an off-Broadway play once, and this is over a period of about a month. Most of the evenings were spent at home. Sometimes she'd have a few friends in.
Did she watch?
She did not drink.
She didn't drink?
No.
Did she smoke?
No.
Didn't smoke or drink?
No, no. She would sip on some champagne, but very little, and she never drank any hard liquor that I saw. She had a sort of a split personality. She had one voice when she would talk to me and another voice for the telephone. That cute little pipsqueak voice.
Yes.
But that's the actress in her.
Yeah, she had. Now, she took lessons, didn't she? But that'd be before your time.
No, she was going to the
studio?
at the time.
When you...
In New York.
When you knew.
Oh, yes. Conscientiously.
One of the Strasbergs, I think, was
Right.
very close. What did you say about suicide there?
She did not commit suicide. She did not voluntarily take her life.
Oh, my gosh. So then, how did she die?
Well, I think doctors gave her pills, and she had a bad habit. She had a very large table next to her bed, and it had a stock of pills there. And I assume if she took one or two, she might have been a little bemused and taken another one or two. But voluntarily, she did not commit suicide.
And you say that from the woman you knew over that length of time. She wasn't that...
Despite the fact that I say that she was not a happy woman.
She had too much, what, integrity and sort of inner strength to take her own life.
I think she'd had so many knocks in her life that she lived with that it wouldn't have occurred to her that that was the way to go away. And she was extraordinarily beautiful. I don't think they ever caught that really radiant beauty on film. But she wasn't vain. She, admired her body, and she said, wasn't I lucky to have such wonderful grandparents?
Oh.
Not parents, grandparents. But she, I know, did not commit suicide, which is the only reason I'd like to talk to you, is I'd like people to know it.